Genshin Impact once again ruining a marriage. What a shock. Yeah, I want to talk about this and sort of talk about gacha in general because this is just such a ridiculous situation of uh some dude ruining his marriage over Farina and Genshin Impact. Like, of course it was a Farina fan, right? But then also like this was something I was talking about in my chat right the other night. It's like what goes through your mind when you already got the bag and then you go and do this. Bro is engaged, yet he goes behind his partner's back to spend on Farina of all characters. This is actually insane, bro. I actually can't. It's so funny. Now I do have Moist Critical's video up for reference, right? Because he's got all the screenshot, the text and stuff that I want to go over, but there's multiple reasons why you just shouldn't be spending on gotchas in general, right? Whether it be financial reasons, predatory mechanics, right? If you want to throw an extra one in there, like the fact that it's Genshin Impact of all things, right? So and so, like there's a whole wide range of things to bring up, right? And hopefully I remember them. But yeah, it's now before we dive into this, I do want to mention the certain aspects that like could drive somebody to do something like this, right? There's obviously a gotcha addiction aspect that a lot of people have, right? They don't may not realize it, but gotchas at the end of the day use predatory mechanics to get you to spend money. And a lot of games and other things do this like in general, right? But specifically gotcha games are one of the ones that uh are what people would argue generally as more predatory, as of course they give you limited currency to entice you to play the game, right? They give you the currency via completing stuff in the game to make you keep playing. And of course, once you run out, you don't get it. They're like, hey, here's this other option of spending money, right? So there's a lot of other things, and of course, it is in a way gambling, right? Now it's not true gambling because there is no actual like return on your like there is no like actual reward via on it, but it's like gambling light, you could say, right? And so there is the predatory aspect of it being gotcha itself and why you shouldn't spend money there, right? Especially given the fact that at the end of the day, once the servers turn off, it's all gone, right? I mean, again, people like to use it as essentially throwing your money in a fire, right? When you play, when you spend money on gotcha games, which to an extent is true, right? Unless, of course, the developer were to just unlock it. It's like, fully unlock the game and let everybody have it. I don't think anybody has ever done that for a gotcha game, but regardless, right? Not the best idea to spend your money on a gotcha game, especially when it's behind somebody's back in this case, right? Now, there, of course, could be a social aspect to it. Maybe he felt like he needed to have it, which is never going to be the case. It's a gotcha game at the end of the day. But, perhaps it's there. Obviously, there's the parasocial aspect of this guy really, really liking Farina. And if we're being real, somebody who's played the game, overrated character meta-wise, overrated character story-wise. Just spitting facts if we're being real here, right? There's also the fact that she's not fucking real. You're already engaged, brother. What the fuck? um, yeah, and obviously just outright bad to spend money that, of course, your soon-to-be wife would have told you not to, right? You're saving the money for a rainy day, as said in the video. Sorry, just the camera mid-recording. Uh, another aspect of it, like spending money that you arguably don't really have, right? Because again, this is money that he doesn't have, at least from the conversation. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of spare income, right? Obviously, and I would imagine, especially in today's climate, it's hard to come across having spare change on hand to, just willy-nilly spend it on gotcha games, right? And plus, considering the fact that she's like crashing out, I mean, to be fair, I do think it's warranted, and I don't mean to like say crash out is like a bad thing, but like to be fair, like the woman in this scenario getting upset at her soon to be husband, right? Getting upset, rightfully so, right? For a variety of reasons, right? Like again, money behind your back, a lot of money, and so on. Is like you shouldn't be doing this if you don't have excess income to actually spend on the game, right? Like that's pretty much a given, right? But then lastly, right? The game sucks. Let's be real. Genshin Impact sucks. It's a bad game. Uh, that's it. So let's actually go into the messages, right? Because, so yeah, as for the messages, he says, "Stop calling me." Now I'm assuming this is just his wife's name. Right. It's gonna be kind of hard to read this like without the names, but yeah, "Stop calling me." And then she says, "We need to talk right now." Pick up. He says, "You're not being fair at all. As I explained, my bound." Bro, like even though I've already looked at this, like it's so hard to read this back because of how ridiculous this is. Like this one statement, I explained my boundaries to you, but you are not respecting them. I don't care what your boundaries are. I'm pretty sure going behind somebody's back is breaking whatever boundaries you set. Like, bro is engaged. Like, here's the thing: relationships are a thing that build up trust, right? You're again like you gotta have trust in each other, you gotta respect each other, right? It's relationships are a thing you build upon, right? This is not doing that, right? You don't go behind somebody's back and like just spend their money that of course both of you work towards, right? Assumedly together. Even if the one earned the money, right? It's, a shared experience and you're still ruining it for the other person. This is just like an objectively bad thing. You don't go behind your wife's back and then reply, "You're not respecting my boundaries." Of course, it's Genshin Impact of all things. Who could have guessed? Arena from Genshin Impact. Classic Genshin ruining another marriage. Crazy. This is exactly what Blank says is abusive about you. I don't know if this is a friend or a therapist. I'm going to assume it's a friend because I wouldn't say a therapist would say this necessarily. I could be wrong. When somebody says, especially a significant other, says, "We need to talk right now," you pick up the damn phone. I don't care, like, unless it's in some life threatening scenario, pick up the fucking phone, bro. How, in what world is this abusive? Like, absurd, absurd, absurd. I'll continue. You spent 600 on our credit card on a fucking game. It's um honey, it's Genshin Impact. It's not just a game. It's a lifestyle. I already explained it to you, which is just absolutely insane. Like I actually couldn't, dude. 600 for two virtual characters that you don't need, which is true. Without asking when this is the thing that like makes everything so clear. When we are paycheck to paycheck, that card was for emergencies with the Civic. Now, again, I already mentioned this. There's a money aspect to this. She clearly states that they do not have the money for this kind of thing, which is crazy that bro would still go and do this. But then, as you see on the screen, it gets worse. He sends a picture of Farina. Holy fuck, bro. There's something wrong with these Genshin Impact players. And yes, I mean players. I'm not talking about just this guy. I mean players as a whole, bro. This is insane. I already said it. She's overrated meta wise. I'm not gonna go into meta debate over Genshin Impact. Who gives a fuck? It's a baby game. But like, this is not how you respond to your significant other over a financial issue, bro. You don't just send a picture of Farina. It's like, "Hey, babe, look what I got with your birthday money." Picture of Farina, like. And by the way, I specify birthday money because he does actually go and spend their Christmas money, which she mentions later. Which is just so funny. But yeah, so it's like you told me you wanted her too, but you aren't happy for me, Lamau. Bro is delusional on so many levels. Brother, that's not how you respond in this scenario. I'm actually done. I'm a 29-year-old man. I'm allowed to make purchases without needing your permission. You're already living paycheck to paycheck. I think this is defined as poor decision making. That is an abusive dynamic. Blank explained that very clearly to me. First off, who is Blank? Because Blank is not cooking. Blank is just not cooking in this scenario. But it's crazy. And again, this just isn't abusive in the first place. You're already living paycheck to paycheck, right? You're in a relationship with this person, significant other, right? You should respect them, and again, you should be worried of your financial decision because this is going to affect your future. I like it's bad enough spending money on the gacha game in the first place, but to then go and say that when your significant other, again, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, is saying please don't do this is an abusive thing. Like, no, it's not. It's just you being stupid. Like, I I don't think that needs to be explained, bro. Like, how could you type this out? How could you legitimately sit there and type this out, right? Now, here's another thing. This might be a little going too far, texting behavior. But if we do actually look at the text here, obviously none of these are capitals, right? Which on the phone, it automatically capitalizes the first thing you do with that sentence, right? Or at least on my phone it does. Maybe there's something going on with this guy's phone. But these are not capital, which implies that either bro intentionally hit the uncapitalized or he went back and retyped it. But then additionally, none of these are capitalized, which means the auto thing didn't capitalize it, or he again went back and typed it. So none of the I's are capitals. There's still periods. So it's either there automatically from him double spacing, which again works on my phone, or again, he intentionally spent time to type out the periods. So bro spent time to type this out and still said, yes, I'm going to send this to my soon to be wife. This is like the levels of absurdity are unparalleled. And then she clarifies, yes, I said I want Farina. I didn't say we should spend hundreds to get constellations. Art, you are a fucking addict. He is. Why the fuck are you getting dupes of the character? These people, you shouldn't be getting dupes in the first place. You don't need the dupes. This is for people with disposable income. You clearly don't have disposable income. Insane. You already spent all our Christmas money on it. This is what I was saying earlier. How the hell? I listen. Depending on where you're on the world, will change your view on Christmas, right? Like, and like what you consider as a good gift, so on and so on. But the point is, how in the fuck have you already spent all your Christmas money on Genshin Impact of all things? It's crazy. There's so many other things you could buy besides a fake digital scarcity item. Like, who? I'm surprised that gacha players don't realize this. Like, legitimately, or like don't think about this. They just spend their money. It's like, how? Just how? You're snooping into your fiance's purchases. You should take a look at yourself. I don't know why bro is trying to like reverse this and put it onto her. Um, why would you like the only like here's the thing. The only reason you would hide or want to hide your purchases is because you have intent on not revealing what you're buying to the other person. Right? Other like it should be transparent between like what purchases are happening. So to not want the other person to see that, you're definitely trying to hide something. I don't think that's a stretch. I mean, like that's absolutely insane. But bro has to go, play Genshin Impact because he can't get enough of Farina, right? Of all things. So yeah, he already zooms in on that. And then, of course, follows up. This is a shared card that I set up for emergencies, and you went behind my back. Why don't you tell blank your gambling addiction to video game characters? It is a gambling addiction, as I said. Like, people get the dopamine hit from pulling, right? They think it's good luck or whatever. When it's for the most part, at least in Hoyo games, right? You are at some point guaranteed to get the thing, right? And again, it's a fucking video game. There is no actual return on your money, right? It's not like it it gives some people the feeling of gambling, but it's not real gambling because there is no actual like return on your money, right? Um but like all things, especially gambling in particular, people get addicted to it. And if you can't self-control, then it's obviously an addiction to the fucking video game, right? Like that's just fucking obvious. So this guy clearly has a problem where he felt like he had to spend the money on Farina, and or he just lacked self-control and spent it anyways. Like this is like Bro needs help. Bro needs help. And as far as I know, the marriage was called off, right? Just to make it clear already this far in the video. But like, holy hell, this is insane. Actually, Blank told me all about your coercion. And I believe that you are a narcissist personality, which is insane thing to say in this scenario. That is why you are continuing to try and control me and control my financial decision making. As I've already said, and as she said, it's a joint card and you're in a relationship. You should be making financial decisions together. You in this case did not. That is a problem. Very simple. Um I I don't know why he's trying to guilt trip her here. Like it's you are in the wrong, very clearly so. Like the delusion on this guy in particular is insane. You know this is my values, and I have Farina as my wallpaper forever. Bad choice in waifu. Uh, but also that's just crazy. That's crazy, bro. Like I refuse to be verbally abused for being myself. I am battling anxiety. You do not care at all. The level of like trying to say this is your fault is ridiculous. Like I don't know why bro is trying to put on her. Uh he needs serious help. He needs serious help. Like I've got nothing much more to say. Uh and then at the bottom you can see a little bit of it, and I don't know if it zooms in on here. But bro really says, I don't want to get married to you. That right there is a crazy line. Yeah, I don't want to get married to you. Imagine crashing out over a gotcha game this hard where you end a marriage. This could have been the most avoidable thing. But then also, real talk, real talk. Being a Genshin player is already a red flag. Maybe they connected over Genshin, but let's be honest here. Red flags. Red flags. Red flags. They're pretty clear. Red flags. Yeah, I'm not talking on the phone. I emailed the screenshots for my appointment tomorrow. Thank you. And this is why I assumed it was a therapist talking about appointments. Um, for giving me horrible exam and for giving me a horrible anxiety attack and ruining my night. And no, I didn't do a fucking thing with Farina yet because of your calls. First off, nobody cares. Secondly, bro, that is the first thing on your mind. Yes, my wife is calling me about a financial issue. Too bad I couldn't play with Farina yet. Uh, I will call Capital One and dispute the charge. Your account will get banned. Middle finger. By the way, based power move from the wife here. Fuck you. This is my favorite part of this whole thing, bro. The wife's like, okay, bang. W wife, just like, okay, disputed charge, get banned. This is the number one thing you should always do. Uh, Especially I'll extend this even further. If you are a parent and you know your child is playing gotcha games, if you see them spend, over $200 or something, dispute the charge, get them banned, show them what the real world's like, bro. All right, just saying. Make sure you're aware of your purchases. Make sure you're aware of how these games function. Understand the issues with them, and understand the predatory things behind it, right? Like there's a lot of things, right? And especially the money that you're spending. Understand that, right? Like what the actual odds are, your own money, so on, so on, right? I think these things should be pretty obvious, but I think it's a needed reminder for some people that don't spend all your money, right? Try it. You will lose me forever. I'm going to Scottsdale for the night. Stop calling me for 12 hours and we can talk then. Good night. Um, why would you? That's just crazy. Don't call me wife. Uh, will you please answer my mom, please? And then this is the crazy thing. I can only assume that Bro's family was calling his wife because of this to try to be on his side. Like, huh? Um, and then of course there's a continuation here, right? Where he's going to attempt to apologize, right? I apologize for my reaction. As I said, my anxiety is bad today, and I have to do better. I love you. I don't need to dispute. Sorry. You don't need to dispute the charges. I will get you the money soon. Blank can spot me 600 tonight, so can you text him your Venmo? Anxiety really bad. Blank, please. So, again, trying to do a play on emotions. Bad play. But then also getting money from a friend is crazy because that means bro is basically subsidizing your gotcha addiction. Now you're using your friend's money on the fucking problem. That's not going to solve anything. It's crazy that you are going to get your friend to spot you money because of something you could have avoided and fucked up. Specify you could have avoided, right? Um, insane. Now, again, according to Moist Critical, that the lady did actually get her money back, right? From the whole scenario, which is good. But then if she also got the $600 from the friend, that means kind of up overall. W, honestly. But actually posted first off, I'm so glad she posted this W content. But then the fact that this whole thing just went down in the first place is actually insane, right? Um, you shouldn't be spending money on gutches in the first place. I already provided some reasons. Could go more in depth on those, but I think they're pretty pretty obvious reasons. Uh, but yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Um, that's all I really have to say about this. Like, hopefully this provides some entertainment. Hopefully it provides some perspective. Uh, yeah, might come back, add in a few things, but that's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me on Twitch. See you in the next one.